Okay, part two of the July 27th fish tub update, the outdoor tubs. Um, I think I'm going to call this one flowers and fry because that's what we're getting today. So the Xiphophorus maculatus tub. I'm excited because earlier this week, and of course they're not on the surface now, but one evening I went out and I found platy fry hanging out at the surface. So I did get some, I did get a good pair, and hopefully these guys will stand the test of time and won't melt when I bring them indoors. Yeah, so hopefully this will be the start of another selective breeding project. You know, if they can make it through the winter, then next year I'll continue working with them. My goal for the project would be to create a platy that is interesting to look at from the top, you know, for tubs. And yeah, we'll see how the genetics work out on that. So the Mayuki Yangife cross, this was a failure. Like I think the last update I told you I lost the female, but was gonna, you know, keep the tub running to see if any of if there are any eggs that would produce fry. There have been no fry. It's been over 2 weeks there. That's that. And yeah, what can you do? I have more to say once we get over to the Hikari tub over there. Okay, the Aphanius mento tub. Hopefully we can actually see these guys. So the Aphanius mento tub, you'll notice the top of the water is really got a film on it, and that's because I've been feeding a ton of the aquarium co-op fry food, which I should make a video at some point. I'm not actually a huge fan of the fry food. I just picked it up this year because the place where I buy my golden pearls, which I much prefer as a fry food over the aquarium co-op stuff, they were out and I didn't know when they were going to get golden pearls back in, so I just picked up the aquarium co-op stuff because I've used it before. But yeah, so anyway, that's why there's kind of this, you know, surface scum on the top. But the algae is receding, and as the algae recedes, there are tons and tons of Aphanius mento fry. And of course, because it's a cold morning, you're not going to see them, but I'm talking like dozens and dozens. I don't know if you can, there's one down there. Let's see, there's several right here at the base of the thalia hanging out. But yeah, lots of Aphanius mento fry, so good production. It is a reliable species. My only concern is last year I had two Aphanius mento tubs going, and both of them crashed at the end of the season, and I lost almost all of my production last year. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this, making sure it doesn't crash, so that I can keep the production going and bring them in and then be able to distribute them. The Mayuki Medaka tub, totally green water now, but the algae has receded. Getting some water lettuce going, pretty good. But they've just not produced this year, and for several years now my Mayukis have just produced very poorly, and I don't know why. I've only seen a couple fry in this tub, of course none at the surface right now, and because it's green water you can't see any of them. But yeah, they've just been doing terrible. Actually, there's an adult hanging out right there, if you can see him hanging out in the right there, that whitish iridescent back. I mean, they're cool looking fish, but yeah, they're not producing, and you know, they're the first Medaka strain I worked with, but they definitely are not the simplest. Like I said, I've had really uneven production with them over the years, and then also that that iridescent Mayuki stripe is really hard to maintain, and also it seems to take a long time to develop, which makes them kind of a pain in the butt if you're trying to, you know, sell them or move them on. So I don't know. I don't want to get rid of the strain, but it's definitely making me reconsider how I want to continue working with it. Just because, yeah, it's just kind of been a pain to work with for the last several years. Okay, the Hikari Medakas, which I got well, there's the sum total of my Hikaris hanging out right there. I've got one male breeder left. Well, I only had one male breeder in the first place. One female quote-unquote breeder left, although I have not seen her produce any eggs. And then I have two juveniles. The same two juveniles I've been talking about the last couple updates. Yeah, they're just, I think that female's not producing. I think I lost my other two breeder females early in the season. So I don't know how I'm going to keep working with Hikari, because I, started this season with 5 Hikari individuals, and now I'm going to end it with at best 4 and possibly less. So that's going to be over the winter, figuring out how I'm going to keep the Hikari line going. This, again, has been a strain that has been really a challenge to work with. I think I've said the story before, but in case you haven't, when I first bought the strain in 2022, I bought fry but only got males, so I bred them with some gold females to produce some F1s that were heterozygous for Hikari but didn't show the trait. Last year I bred my original breeder males with their female offspring and produced, about a half dozen or so of the actual Hikaris, and this year I have even fewer Hikaris. So I have a sinking suspicion I'm going to have to go back and recross these fry, because I'm not optimistic about the breeders. They tend to last a year or so. It's rare to get 2 years out of a breeder for my Madakas. Some other fish often are better about that, but Madakas tend to be 1 year and that's it. But yeah, I might have to take these, and especially if they're both the same sex, have to go and take them and breed them with another non-Hikari. And probably what I would do is those the ones that are in the turtle tub, that are their father is actually one of the siblings of the breeders here, but he's het for Hikari because he doesn't show the trait, but he's het for it. So theoretically some of those fish are het for Hikari too, and I could try to breed them with these juveniles and maybe get some more Hikaris again, or at least produce more hets. Aphanius vladikovi tub, another kind of frustrating thing. 2 years ago I first got my Aphanius vladikovi, and raised them up and had them out in a tub, and they produced a ton of them. I was able to sell 25 pairs of them, but then that winter I lost almost all my females, and so last year I only had one female to start with. Put them out in the tub. She didn't make it, so I didn't get any production out of them. So I went last fall and rebought from the same breeder I got my initial stock from, bought some more pairs, put them out this year, and I have seen 0 fry, even though I've seen lots of breeding behavior. And I've been, lost at least 2 of the males and one other fish that I found that was, so chewed up by snails and stuff that I couldn't tell whether it was a male or a female. So, I don't know. I'm hoping when I break down this tub, maybe there's some, fry or juveniles that are hanging down at the bottom, but I'm not optimistic about the vladikovi. On another note, the gallium, while it was a cool experiment initially, once the heat came around, the gallium just has died back really hard, which, whatever. And if you hear that loud helicopter sound, that is in fact a helicopter flying past. It's probably a wildland fire fighting helicopter. There's some big fires. Well, not as big as like California or Oregon, but we got some fires up here in the Rockies, and there's been a lot of mobilization dealing with the fires. So, yeah. Anyway, the Iliodon tub. Not seeing a whole lot. I did lose another adult Iliodon this week, although that's not surprising since it's been hot, and this tub is kind of a retirement tub anyway, full of older fish that are kind of, nearing the end of their life. So, yeah. But plant-wise, it's doing great. The Marsilla's really come in. The orange mint's going good. This Australia canna has gone crazy with foliage. Hasn't done any flowers, but, Probably will maybe divide that in the fall. You know, Sweet Flag's doing good, and then this thalia, which I planted in a giant pot, is obviously really, really done well and is throwing off flower spikes, as I said earlier. So yeah, that's kind of the late July update. Heading into August, like I said, this kind of, you know, quote-unquote cooler weather. Really, it's just normal weather for this time of year. But anyway, that's going to be ending in the next few days, and then it looks like we're going to have another big heat wave for at least a week. But yeah, we'll see how that all shakes out. Right now, it's kind of wrapping up the fry production, and it's going to start focusing on growing stuff out. So mainly, as of right now, it looks like for actual saleable things, I'll, you know, be sending off in the fall, or, well, the spring, for the Aphanius mento, since they take a while to sex out. But probably be sending off gold medacas, Aphanius mento, Scyphia multipunctata, maybe Aphanius serhanii, and then for just stuff that's bred that I'm going to be able to continue working with, the Yankee Hikari medacas, the medacas in the turtle tub. I need to give that strain an actual name. I've kind of been just calling it the 2024 cross at this point. Valencia laternoi, the maculatus platies, and in theory the Miyuki medacas. And then, yeah, the Aphanius vladicovi, I guess technically the Iliodon too, they bred in here, although most of my breeding's inside, but even then it's been a very slow season. But yeah, the Aphanius vladicovi, Posilia chica, gold barbs, and Satan medacas are look like they're just not going to do anything this year. So anyway, yeah, interested to hear how your guys' tubbing seasons are going, and yeah, talk with you later.